Wow. Hot dog water. What are you painting? Whoa. Car portrait, old. Oh, nice. That's cool. I've painted cars, but never like dedicated. It's a little loud. Hang on. Jesus. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever dedicated an entire painting to a car. Do you like painting like I like painting steel and like reflections, I suppose. Do you like painting like I like computers and like circuits. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever dedicated a painting to I'm just saying this music's gonna get flagged. I thought it was a free playlist. Anyways, that's cool. It's rough. Have to grid. Yeah, I like gridding though. But do you do it all the time, or it's just like kind of a one-off? I'd love to see it. I don't know how to see it. One by 1 inch. What happens if you want 1 by 1 centimeter? Would you ever do that? I need to see it too, by the way. I don't know how. If you're on Instagram, make sure you hit me up. I'll follow you. Check it out. But do you paint cars all the time? Or just sometimes? Or it's a one-off? If you're busy, I won't keep making you write. I'm just curious. Follow me on Instagram so I can follow you. If you remember. I see. Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I would love to see it then. So hit me up if you remember, because I want to see what you're gridding. I'm fascinated with gridding. I go through phases where I grid a lot, and then this last actually probably last 2 years I've kind of um, left it, but not because I really like it. It's just almost a different kind of process. Like gridding is a totally different, almost mindset. Like you're looking at the entire end result before you even start painting. Whereas like something like this is the exact opposite. I'm just painting as I go. So like gridding isn't even relevant with something like this. It's a totally different mindset, if that makes sense. But I like gridding. It also helped me learn a lot about painting. Like how am I trying to get this end result block by block? And became a lot of the technique that you need to learn to do that. You can just keep using it even when you're not gridding. Same as tracing, actually. When you copy Monet paintings, do you grid? Or there's no need? You don't like, would you ever do that? Okay, yeah. So you just paint like Monet and have fun. Got it. So you're not doing like, what's that artist that like, there was a documentary on like the guy who like plagiarizes fine art. I can't remember. He's like a master at copying. You're just painting Monets for the enjoyment. Gotcha. And big or just kind of small? Yeah, yeah, okay, you know what I'm talking about. I'm, as I said it out loud, I can't even really remember a lot about it, but I just remember he was just like, his ability to copy fine art at such a high level, like where he could like fool the experts. I thought it was so cool. I can't remember much more than that. And then you think like, who's the real master at that point? I think he makes a good case for being like an even better painter in a sense. I see. Yeah. So what do? Just listen to music and get lost? Get lost in... And how close do you is your objective to like really match it, or you just enjoy the starting point and then seeing where it goes? Gotcha. Okay, cool. I'll find you after my session. That's great. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'm fascinated with when you're talking about grading for sure. Yeah, I'm happy you reached out because I could talk about grading for a long time actually. I find it really interesting. Especially because it's kind of like there's some good criticism against it and there's a lot of value in it too. But like how are you supposed to paint a car without some sort of like like measuring out stuff? Like I don't know. There has to be a process for like symmetrical stuff, especially that's like manufactured things. Like I don't know what I would do. Otherwise, it's just gonna end up like some sort of like random, or it would take too. It wouldn't even be worth it. It would take so long to get things accurate. And you still probably have to use some sort of like tool to measure. So I don't know what the alternative is. For painting like an accurate depiction of a car, if you're not gridding. I don't know, I'd have to like think about it. What else are you supposed to do? Do you think so? There's draftsmen that can do that, like accurately, or like within, or do the draftsmen also have like tricks that they use to get accuracy? chip foos, he can do it, so he can just like see a photo of a car and then draft it out like with somewhat accurately and have like symmetrically, like you're like, oh, that's a Toyota Corolla. That's cool. I guess, because sometimes I can do faces that are pretty good. But if I'm trying to do like a portrait, it's kind of the same concept. I want to have some sort of, not even a grid, but like some sort of like mapping. You want to map things out. So they must map things out even if it's by hand. And then you can kind of make the curves, and there must be tricks to that. There must be like some sort of like technique to how you map it out. And then obviously just experience doing it 1,000 times. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll look them up. Because I'm curious about that too. People's, not just skill set, because when someone's just really good, you're like, where do I even start? How do I even begin? But I like when there's a really good artist that will tell you, like, you do this and do that, and you build. Because at least they give you some sort of foundation, or they'll point out their own flaws, like where they are, how they need to improve and stuff, and like what they did wrong. It's super useful. And I think a lot of artists do that these days too. I've seen like a lot of artists that you're just blown away by, but then they'll give you, it's almost like, you know, what's the magicians that show you how to do their tricks. Sometimes there's stuff that'll like really blow you away, like, no way. And then oftentimes it's just they're uber talented. But there are tricks, like there's got to be tricks for how to, like, you know it's always, okay, hot dog water. You know what's interesting is the guys that can do those lines on the cars when actually there's actually something at stake. You know, the guys that do the symmetrical lines. What my question is for them, I want to know, is like, what happens when you make a mistake on like an old like 1969 Cadillac and you make a line that's just like way off? Like they must be able to like wipe it off while it's wet, right? Pinstripe, yeah. Those pinstripe fuckers, when you watch the videos, it's not, even with the mural guy, there's a lot of mural guys that do it too. But there has to be something that happens when they fuck up. What do? They can what? They can, like, there must be some sort of, but then you're literally, you're like wiping thinner on a Cadillac. I just can't see it. I don't know how they do that, because they must be using like enamels and stuff. And you can see how they use their finger to guide them. They can use their fingers to do it. So they have guides, but that, I wouldn't even attempt it. I would be like, oh no, you got the wrong guy. I couldn't even, it's almost laughable. Like for me to get a straight line, I'm gonna need to be able to add and subtract over and over and over again. Yeah, those pinstripe guys are crazy. That's all I know. Now that I start thinking about, yeah, there's some talent that's just unmatchable because the risk is too great. It's like it's almost not even fun. It's like you mess up. But then obviously they're pros. They're the pros. But if I need to be able to go back and forth, because then it's like it's cathartic and enjoyable. If I have weight on like, oh, you got to make this line fucking accurate and like tight, ugh, no thanks. But if you're good at it, geez, must be like easy too. But they have to. My point is, I gotta look into that. What do they do when they make a mistake on a $60,000 hot rod? What do they do? Because I'm sure it happens like probably every time they paint something. They're not painting accurate lines every time. I don't believe it. They must have some sort of trick. So I'm just going back to like the great artists that have tricks that can give you some sort of insight on how they figured it out and how they were taught. And again, yes, I admit there's going to be some painters that are better than others, but there's a lot of pinstripe people. It's not just like one. There's not only one in the land. There's a bunch of them. So they must have tricks when they mess up, and I'm curious. Even like tattoo artists have tricks. They'll figure out like if they make a mistake how to like fix a line and stuff. Like they're subtle. And I'm sure the pinstripe people are subtle too. Like they'll have subtle little techniques just to like kind of oh, I can just imagine myself trying to like attempt painting somebody's like hot rod, and then I step back and like look at it from afar, and it's just a fucking garbage mess. Like, oh, like, yeah, that just would not be. Because they have that swooping, like in their videos, you see them like swooping around and looping like these figure eights with flawless accuracy. It's fun. It's awesome. If it's wet, you can wipe it away. Interesting. Is that easy? What did you say here? In their defense, there is usually a thick clear coat over the paint beforehand. The pinstripe paint is a looser, slicker oil base. Oh, looser, slicker oil base, so you can just wipe it. Ah, yeah. I have no experience in that at all. That would make sense. Because then, if you can just wipe it away, now you know that, and so you're a lot freer and a lot more loose, right? You can just go zip, and if you make a mistake, oh, wipe that up. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, now you can just practice like having these line works that are really fun. Just wipe it away. That's cool. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. I should probably put that together, but yeah, that makes sense. Oh no, that's something I couldn't do. Symmetric, like I would just, all I would always say is like, oh, it's not supposed to be symmetrical. That's what you'd hear, like, I'm the unsymmetrical pinstripe artist. Symmetry's for the losers. Yeah, symmetry's not my my strong suit. Because even if I made one good line, to make it again, yeah, right. Although I have been practicing hot dog water, like if I make this thin line here like this, like ultra pin That's not okay. I do like to practice certain things, like I go over a very thin line again and again and again and again, but in small, that's been something I've been practicing, where I can follow and track a line that's hair thin, even thinner than hair. And then do it again. So see this like thin line here? I really work on that to like be able to go over it and over it and over it, but just the same like and I try to practice to see how thin I can go, and especially when it's needed. So there's certain things that I do get better at, just symmetry and like long line work. I remember there's this guy that did, he had a gallery near mine a long time ago. And he could do like the cables from telephone poles. Like he would do like birds sitting on telephone wires and the cables like from the telephone poles. And he would do these like beautiful like streaks of like painting the cables. He would just do these like flawless cables, like where he would do these lines, like again, like if you can see my hand now, he'd do these long, like, but it's like from the length of like a, like a 2 meter, no, like a meter long, couple feet of cable every time, and perfect. And then if I do that, we're going at like such a pace that's so, and it's not going to be perfect. Yeah, well, no, I try hair thin. Do you use, what are those sticks called? Instead of putting your finger like on the painting, like what are those sticks called? Do you use that stick with the nub? What are those sticks called? Seems like you know a lot of stuff. Maul stick, that's right. I'd have a hook on it so I can hang off the top of the canvas. Oh, wow. So do you do that even when you're gridding? Or just for Monet pieces? Or abstract pieces? Are you also painting, so you are painting on an easel? Interesting. Maul stick. Huh. Both, I see. And if you don't use a maul stick, what do you do? Or you have to use it? Like you're just accustomed to it now? Like could you paint without it? Or it's just convenient? Or is it an absolute must now? Like as critical as brushes. Because I fuck my stuff up quite a bit, but there isn't, because I've been painting this way for so long, I will use like a makeshift maul stick if I'm, depending on the scenario, it's not totally lost on me. But I do prefer just to anchor my finger, because then I'm gonna leave a mark there, and I gotta figure, like, and I know it's a little bit amateur, but I'm just so used to it. And the maul stick looks so much more like, oh, look at him. Right? It comes with that, like, but I just also don't give a flying fuck. However, if it, in this case, it would be really useful for me. Also, my easel shit too, though. It's pretty shaky. I need a new easel. Hopefully soon. I need something way more stable. Yeah, okay, yeah, I see that. Landscapes as in like like nature. No, I don't get inspired by nature. Like, I think there's I find that the landscapes would fall under like portraits. I my brain my brain can't um, my brain won't it just doesn't inspire me. So then, like, I would paint a landscape only to add something. There's so much. My brain's going through all the reasons why. Yeah, I have in the past, like many years ago, I would paint like landscapes, but with no reference, like just landscapes, kind of like from my brain, and like try to make old cottages and like with really beautiful sky colors and like old barns and stuff. I've done it. But when I get to the point where it's like nearing its finish, I go, so what are you doing? And I go, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So this is just an internal dialogue. I'm not trying to say it's not, as you said, it's just preference. But it's for me, it's the same as a portrait. And this kind of goes without saying, but I'll say it again. And obviously, there's portraits that are unbelievable that don't need anything else other than the subject matter and the artist and some of their like subtle, refined abilities that they've gained over the years of painting. And their portraits are masterful and true artistic visions, and like they bring the subject to life, on and on and on. When I do a portrait, I go, okay, where's the art? This is what I ask myself, right? Now what? You got the portrait. Now what? I go, well, tattoos on their face, a missing eyeball. Like, that's just how my brain works. So I don't get excited by just painting, because that's why I was painting portraits like using a grid at one point years ago, and I got it to that point, and I'm like, so what are you gonna add to this other than? Because I just felt like it was unfinished. I know it sounds crazy, but for me, my art, like it was unfinished, just a portrait. And I've done a few where I've left them, and I'll do them again where I just have a portrait. But I typically like to add some sort of like let my mind go and see where I can take it. After it's almost like a starting point. So you painted the portrait, and then that's the same with like the landscape. I'll paint a landscape almost like a thrift store painting, just so that I can start having fun with it. Do you like painting landscapes? Is that like kind of suit, like what do you get out of that? What's your like, why does it call you, or kind of you can make it up as you go along, like it's all, or what? You know that famous painting of the lady? She's on the ground. And she's lying. She's lying in the field. Both knees on the ground, one hand on the ground, and she's looking towards the farmhouse on the field. I can't remember any more detail but I like that. I like that style. You know what I'm talking about, kinda? It's a famous painting, and I should know the artist's name. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll have to look it up. But I kind of like that landscape, because that's like, there's a story there. Like it seems like she's in distress, or maybe she's chilling. Like I haven't even seen the painting in a long time. But it just comes to mind of like, when I think of a landscape for me personally. Something I've been trying. Gives you a boner. A hot dog water boner. That's cool. Christina's World. Hang on, let me look at it. I don't know if I'll find it. That doesn't ring a bell though. Fuck. Painting of woman in field in front of barn. Okay, I found it. It is. Oh, fuck you. Yeah, Christina's World. But the weird thing for me is when my brain, none of that rings a bell at all. Yes, you know what, at least you know what I'm trying to talk about. I do like that painting a lot though. It sticks with you. And it's even more dramatic than I remember it looking at it again. Yeah, so you like that. So, okay. So do you add other things in your landscapes, or do you have an objective other than just to paint? Are you trying to find anything? Do you paint with the intention of getting better? Or do you just paint to like lose yourself while having an erection? But you've already talked about clients, so what's your intention for landscapes then? Besides obviously just painting. Yeah, I can see why. Okay. Oh, this piece is taking so much longer than I anticipated. I've been painting, maybe only once or twice in the last year, like the last 12 months, that have I worked on a painting that's taken this long. I kind of get lost, like I kind of get, I guess, discouraged, for lack of better words, like when something takes this long, because my brain doesn't work, my brain doesn't sit with something. I've moved on. The idea is where a lot of my art shines. Yeah, totally. I don't know, man. Just trying to get as good as I can. Okay. Yeah. I want to find my message, but I think that'll come as I get better. Just obsessed with painting. Well, I think then you already won. Yeah, that's a win in my book. Because messages will also change over time too. So the fact that you just like creating is the win. And then like mastering, like you're talking about your colors and your tones and stuff. That's a win. But landscapes seem like an older person thing, as in like a maturity, right? Like when I'm painting cartoons or like some random kind of characters and stuff, there is something about you even being attractive to Monet, right? Like I picture Monet being older, like an older painter. So there's something in that too that I would look into, like your fascination with that kind of like, that's interesting. Landscapes are calm. Keeping a calm mind is like, again, like a maturity thing. If you look at my art, it's really chaotic and scattered and like overloaded with cartoonish realism and explosions and yeah, man, good to chat with you too. HDW. Mysterio, what's up? Appreciate you, thank you. Yeah, no, it's really good. Thanks for all your insight. Like I appreciate. It's nice to talk to someone who knows what I'm trying to allude to. Even the mall stick in Christina's world is so funny. That's so great. Yeah, and I'll check out your work on Instagram. I'm excited about that. But you're also not keeping me. I've had to accept that I'm kind of actually excited that this is taking a while and I'm still into it. That's a nice kind of new for me. Okay. Yeah, keep in touch for sure. I'm around. Later, dude. That's crazy, man. Somebody's nobody. What's happening? Somebody's nobody. Oh. Why do I see John Cena? Well, seeing anything I think is a good thing at this point. Oh. Old man noises. Just listen to me making old man noises. Oh. Let's see what I can do here. Hello, Mom. What you doing? Hmm? What you doing? Love you. Tell me something.
I just got my delivery the mall.
Oh yeah, how is
I
it?
think you like it.
Oh. Cool. And Berserker, what's going on? Berserker. I'm a little bit lost at the moment. This is a lot of like picking away. The piece is taking way longer than I was intending in the beginning, but it gets a little bit discouraging when I feel like I'm stuck or like I can't move on. That's what you're witnessing. However, I'm excited to complete it, so like I have the energy, it's in me to get it done, but it's just taking like probably literally I think maybe like 10 times longer than when I start like my idea. I started in a totally different world. But good to see you. Interdimensional. Somebody's nobody thanks. Yeah, like I really like I'm already working on the next painting because I now know what I want to do and what I don't want to focus on. But because this is turning out to be so much like a lot more details, say okay, cool, I'm down with that, but that's actually not what I'm intending with this kind of this new series or project. I want to see images and like imagery in the ink blots, the Rorschach test. This turned out to be like a whole other universe, like, and in order to do it right, it's going to take a long time. So I just need to be able to like wrap my brain around like, hey, you need to give it the time it deserves, and that sometimes can be a little discouraging, right? It's like, especially when I wasn't intending on doing that from the beginning. But I do get in flows. So certain parts of the day I get in a really, this music's not helping. But I can get into the zone where I'm like, oh, I'm really feeling it. Probably usually when I'm not streaming, to be honest. And then I just start finding things and I start bringing things to life. And then it is really enjoyable. I had some good moments yesterday with this piece where I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. I'm enjoying it. Kind of I've been painting on this for a few hours today. I haven't gotten to that space yet. I'm literally kind of adding paint, and sometimes it feels like just adding paint for the sake of it. Because I'm not sure what I'm doing. Because there is no like reference for this stuff. Or direction. Like when you have a reference, things can move really quickly. When it's all from the subconscious and you're finding images in something, there's like a flow. It comes and goes, like it flows. Sometimes it's slow and sometimes it's a rush. No burnouts. Yeah. No, I don't have that problem, which is kind of nice. the worst that will happen is I'll just put the painting aside and work on another painting. That's kind of worst case scenario. I'm not near that. But the other option too is I do work on other paintings periodically throughout the day as a break. Prepping and gessoing, taking photos, updating stuff, taking my wife out outside, getting fresh air. All that's kind of, I'm used to that, like that's pretty standard. And then you feel refreshed and you can come back at a painting. But you also have to balance that with like, hey, you just get to work. Like I don't care what you tell yourself, or just get some paint on here, because then sometimes when you do that, then you start feeling it and you can get like, you can get your, get into a good state, good flow state. Sometimes that doesn't happen though. Then maybe you do need to figure out something else to occupy your brain temporarily. Thanks, somebody's nobody. Yeah, I'm actually like, one part of me is really excited because I was saying earlier, I think only like 2 or 3 times have I in the last year have I spent this long on one painting in particular, and so I'm pretty excited about that. I kind of forget how much work's got to go into it. And so, believe it or not, even if it sounds like I'm complaining, I'm also pretty excited about putting in a lot of hours into one particular painting. I think my complaint just comes from, wow, I was way off on my budgeting, like time. Like I thought I'd be done by now, and I feel like I'm only halfway done. So I'm kind of just complaining for the sake of it. But during this entire painting, there's parts where I'm like really in it, and I'm like really creating stuff that I'm really excited. And then there's other times where I'm just applying paint because I know it needs it. And all of that is part of the process. Because there are pieces that just, okay, get some paint on there so that I can work with something. That part's not very sexy, but it's necessary. This one has little faces in there. I don't know if you can even see that. Interesting, I'm actually going through the same motions. I had a format I did with every 2 to 3 months I paint another 20 to 30 new pieces, quite large work. So far the last 4 years I have been concentrating on a long engagement of expression in a matter of speaking. Oh, I must be off. Apology, I'll swing by later. Gator. Gotta get to work. Okay, somebody's nobody. It's great to chat. Come back. Let's talk again. It's nice to see you, as always. Go get 'em. Kitty, what's up? You like this one? It's taking so long. Way longer than I anticipated, but it's happening. I'm actually kind of shocked. It's like the longest painting I've done in the last 12 months, maybe. Like in the last year. Like I haven't spent this much on a piece for a long time. So it's coming like with the pros and cons. But happy you like it. Thanks, Kitty. I appreciate you. What are you up to? What time of day is it there? Oh, you can't see that. All right. Well, my friends, thanks for coming by. I'm outie. See you again later.